TaSha Douglas, an indomitable spirit on biography.
Hi, this is TaSha Douglas, and if you want to see what you've never seen before, go to dollarpreview.com.
Dollarpreview.com brings you the new blood of Hollywood. Now you have a choice. Oscar Michaud style, baby.
TaSha Juanita Douglas, also affectionately known as TaSha, was born in St. Mary's County, Maryland on December 13, 1976, the second of 5 children, 3 brothers and 1 sister. TaSha was a very intelligent and happy child. She was always smiling. She loved music and was always singing. She would often run to her mother as her captive audience to perform for her, whether it be singing or acting.
She was probably about 5 years old, and she started acting people that she saw on the TV, and she just was like always acting out a character, mommy, let me show you this, mommy, let me show you that, just very creative all the time.
TaSha's biological father was not able to step up at the time and be the father she needed. Her mother, Marion Marlowe Lyles, would be a single parent for several years before she'd meet and fall in love with the man who would step up and be the only father TaSha would get to know, Eric Timothy Jones, a top-secret security manager. He met TaSha's mom when she worked for the federal government for 37 years. TaSha caught the acting bug at a very young age and would often put on shows for everyone to see. She would capture your attention in a heartbeat. TaSha has always had her own sense of style. She was always changing outfits to fit her mood or a character she wanted to portray. She liked picking out her own clothes and dressing up, and still does to this very day.
Always laying her clothes out, matching colors, shoes. No, seriously, for real, this child.
When it came to school, she was a good student, earning A's and B's all through school. And yes, she was also a teacher's pet. In middle and high school, she was a cheerleader and actively involved in various clubs. She also attended 2 community colleges for 4 years. TaSha's love of music would bring her to a new club, the nightclub scene, where she would meet a man that would change her life and place her in a role for a lifetime. TaSha would take on the role of a real-life mom. At the age of 21, she gave birth to her one and only child, Jasmine Monet Massey. But this challenge would be child's play in comparison to the other roles that she was about to encounter. TaSha Douglas on biography. On July 9, 2002, TaSha would receive one of the 3 most devastating blows of her life. Her younger brother, Thomas B. Hawley, also known as TJ, was murdered. 6 years later, on June 20, 2008, TaSha would receive another of the 3 most devastating blows of her life. Her oldest brother, James D. Douglas, also known as Man, died from injuries he sustained in a car accident. While the family was coping with the shocking loss, TaSha was about to announce some more shocking news of her own. In March of 2009, just 9 months after her brother's death, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. But what bothered her even more than the bad news she had just received was having to do something she really hated to do: call her mom and tell her that she had stage 4 breast cancer, while her mom was still mourning the death of her firstborn child. TaSha, torn with distress and overwhelmed with anguish, apologized to her mom for having to give her more bad news. She tried to explain to her mom how she struggled from within to find the courage to tell her. This is a true testament to how wonderful and giving TaSha is. Needless to say, they both wept over the phone.
Her heart is so warm. She's very free-spirited, loving, caring, very giving. It doesn't matter what you ask her. It can be 4 o'clock in the morning, and if you call and you need something, she's there.
Being a young single mother with death knocking at her door, naturally she had concerns for her young daughter. But this was a time for her to dig deep into her faith and trust in God. So that's what she did.
For someone that's, facing breast cancer as well as, as I did myself, or any type of illness, you are what you believe, so you have to believe, have faith. Definitely my faith was number one in my life, as far as believing in something higher than who I am, and believing that I do have a purpose, and embracing that purpose, which was to have breast cancer. But I knew that I would beat it. Did I know in the beginning? No. I did. I was devastated. I was hurt. I was confused. I questioned. I said, why me? All of those things ran through my head. But once I got it together and kept my eyes up and had faith and stand on that, I know that I created the experience I wanted to go through. And I think a lot of people don't understand that part, is that you create your own life. You create the experiences in your life and how you respond to them. And that's part of your choice, so I chose to be happy through the process. I chose to try to be TaSha as much as I can be through the whole process. So, and having support, and create that support for yourself. So anyone that's going through that, a lot of people say, I don't have anyone. Well, if you think that, of course, you're not going to have anyone. But if you think that you have God, and God can bring different people to your life and give you the support, you can create that for yourself. And I tell people now, today, create a support system if you feel like you don't have it, because you're going to be faced with something. It might not be breast cancer, but you're going to be faced with something. And that's when we need that support system, when we go through hard times in our lives, and having someone that can understand and walk in, your shoes, not your exact shoes, but similar shoes. That was like my biggest thing when I went to the American Cancer Society and Susan G. Komen and a few other breast cancer organizations. It was so refreshing to be around someone that really understood what I was going through. Even though I had my family's support, we really have no excuses, because there's resources for just about every single thing that you could think of that's out there. Whether it's diseases, depression, any type of illness, there's some type of support system out there. So I would encourage people to do that. Have your faith and believe 100% that you're going to make it, that you're going to be okay.
With God in her heart and a large support group, there was no stopping her. She also had the support of the Susan G. Komen Foundation, which is one of the most well-known and best-funded breast cancer organizations in the United States. She prayed and awaited God's decision, which turned out to be that He had more for her to do. After mourning the death of her brother TJ, she really decided to pursue her career and purpose in life. She had been thinking about it for a while. She said California was the place to go. And go she did. With her mom's blessing, she and her best friend, Stephanie Person, were off to Cali. It wasn't too long after arriving in Los Angeles that late one night, Tasha's mother got a call from her enthusiastic daughter who said, "Mom, I got a modeling job and they are paying me a lot of money." Being that she is such a meticulous thinker, her imagination would run wild. She would create the most well-thought-out characters in a moment's notice. She loved being in front of the camera almost as much as the camera loves her. TaSha had also started booking some acting gigs on TV shows like The Parkers with Monique. To keep her acting chops up, she would work on independent films, music videos, short films, or pilots. Some of her most recent projects are Dr. Phoebes, In the Beginning, The Demo Project, One Time, and Lover's Lane.
Hey!
What?
Next time don't flake on me, okay?
After co-hosting a radio show with longtime friend Miko Williams, TaSha decided to pursue writing a book, something her mother believes has been in TaSha for many years. Then, in 2016, TaSha also decided to become a personal coach after she and her mother were invited to a Lisa Nichols Motivating the Masses weekend workshop. It was a life-changing experience that ignited a fire in her spirit. She knew that this was the next level step in her life. Without hesitation, she enrolled in the Elite Life Coach University, where she received 2 certificates, Breakthrough Coach and Neurolinguistics Programming Coach. This would prove to be one of TaSha's defining moments. TaSha realized this is what she really wants to do. She said, "I want to motivate and inspire people because this is one of my purposes in life."